Day three started with breakfast at the hotel, and then it was time for the spa. Unfortunately, the pool was closed for renovations. Otherwise, I would have booked a 45-minute private pool session, but I was still happy to take full advantage of the steam room and sauna, which I definitely needed. After that, I decided to romanticize my life a little bit before getting dressed and heading out for the day. It's another day of doing whatever I want with very loose plans. The only thing I had on my list was the free museum, the Petit Palais, and then I figured I'd just see where the day took me. When I arrived at the museum, I walked to the Seine and took some pictures. I explored the museum garden in the back and found this sculpture and eventually made my way inside to check out the artwork. One thing though, none of the labels had English translations, so I had to use Google Translate for everything. At one point, I swear the label said the sculpture was of a Greek man, and I was like, I know my people, that is definitely a black man. When I translated it more carefully, it turned out it was actually a sculpture of a black man made by a Greek artist or something along those lines. Then it was time for me to head out. I decided to stroll the Champs-Elysees in search of a cafe where I could enjoy a coffee and a pastry. Along the way, though, I saw this beautiful gate leading to a courtyard, and I asked the guard, like, what else was inside, and he said it was a gallery, so I decided to go inside. Apparently, this place opened in September 2025, and it's actually pretty cool. I had never heard of it before, but I'm glad I stumbled across it. I explored a few floors of furniture displays and art installations. There were also several restaurants inside. The rooftop restaurant was closed. I think it was closed for the season. The main restaurant, Le Jardin RH, was reservation only and wouldn't be open for another hour, so I settled in at the beautiful bar and lounge. I love a dark, cozy, speakeasy kind of vibe, so I just sat there for a while and ordered a hot chocolate. And when I tell you this was the hottest hot chocolate I ever had in my life, it forced me to really savor it and just take in the vibes. I literally couldn't rush even if I wanted to. And while I was sitting there, I decided to start looking up thrift shops again and to go check out this place called Episode. In hindsight, I probably should have just gone back to the hotel because I was already tired at that point. But of course, I didn't. I ended up in a neighborhood that actually looked really familiar to me, and then I realized it was Le Havre. I even passed by the jazz club I planned to go to later that night, which I ended up skipping because I was so tired. Eventually, I made it to Episode, and they did have some furs, but spoiler alert, at this point, I had already found my mink earlier in the trip, which I'll talk about in another video. And the coats that they had didn't really appeal to me. This one was okay, but it was a little small and not quite what I was looking for. Otherwise, the store was really organized and the prices were actually good. At that point, I needed some food, so I went to a place called Big Black Hook. Get your mind out of the gutter. It's on the same street as Episode, and it's kind of a Caribbean fusion restaurant. I ordered the fried jerk chicken, which was supposed to be fried chicken smothered in jerk sauce. It definitely was not jerk chicken or jerk sauce. The chicken was actually good, but it was more of a tomato-based sauce on top. Honestly, it was Jamaican French fried chicken without the pepper sauce. The rice had this kind of flavor that I couldn't quite place. It was kind of tangy, almost like an Asian influence flavor. It wasn't bad, but to me, it wasn't the best pairing for the chicken in my opinion. But I was hungry, so I ate it and I enjoyed it. I did love their BBC juice though. Fun fact, I'm gonna carry an airplane nip in my bag, and this juice and that jack made for an excellent combination. After that, I found the metro and basically hobbled back to my hotel because my feet were done. I genuinely felt like I almost walked my toenail off. So stay tuned for the last and final day 3. Okay, bye.